This is the American Indians, Indigenous Peoples Truce. Justice for all, the most dangerous show on media anywhere. OCO, Taishu, Shidanalai, and welcome to the American Indian Indigenous Peoples Truce. I'm Jay Gola Waya Sonoy, Jay Winter Nightwolf. And now news from Indian country with Judge Don Walker.
Good evening to all my brothers and sisters. I'm Don Walker, bringing you news from Indian country. It's now in session. What I want to talk to you tonight is about, as the country reckons with race, will tribal nations lead the way? Last July, Indian country rejected in a rare win for tribal sovereignty in the nation's highest court in a ruling that would reshape the jurisdictional landscape, and the Supreme Court found that since reservations was not disenfranchised by the 1866 treaty, the tribe still had authority over criminal matters within its boundaries. Legal experts described the decision as one of the most monumental federal Indian law cases in modern history. For many in this part of Indian country, a similar win for tribal sovereignty was met with a different reception. In February, the neighboring Cherokee Nation Supreme Court struck the words "by blood" from its constitution. A ruling that the rights outlined in the Treaty of 1866 would be upheld. This came after a 2017 U.S. District Court ruling found that the treaty guaranteed tribal citizenship to the descendants of freedmen, the black women and men once held in bondage and assimilated into the tribe. The Cherokee Nation Supreme Court decision reflects an argument that the tribe's attorneys have made in adoption cases following Cherokee children. Tribal citizenship is about more than race. It's about nationality. Native nations are sovereign bodies whose citizenship revolves around treaties. Legislation and historical precedent. And this ruling represents the Cherokee Nation's willingness to reckon with a past, if in a halting and largely unwilling fashion, similar to the United States. This is a very important thing that is taking place here. After the war, the treaties known as the Treaties of 1866, the United States pushed the Cherokees, as well as the Chickasaw, Choctaw, Creek, and Seminole nations, what we consider today to be the 5 civilized tribes, to provide formerly enslaved people with the rights and privileges of citizenship. However, the treaties also included a land allotment provision, part of a broader and more insidious federal plan to seize yet more native land for white American settlers, thereby eroding tribal sovereignty along with cultural traditions. For a little bit of background on that, the Cherokees did have slaves in some capacity, but to a great deal, they were assimilated into the tribe and accepted, intermarried, and intermixed. That is what we consider freedmen today. They are basically the Black Cherokees or the descendants of them. The 5 Indian nations use the same treaties today to fight for legal recognition of their Oklahoma land claim and tribal sovereignty. Now, as the Cherokee have done, they must also be willing to honor the treaty promises they made regarding the Black people who lived and labored in their nations and shared their ancestry and cultural traditions. As a further side note to that, the Native Americans did not view the Blacks as anything different. They just viewed them as people, and they were readily accepted into the tribes without downcast or looking down upon them in any capacity. After 1866, freemen went on to serve in tribal leadership positions and contribute to their nations. But they were never fully accepted by some as Cherokee citizens. Attempts to limit the rights of freedmen or to cull them from the tribal citizenship began immediately, including one led by famed Cherokee chief Wilma Mankiller, who spearheaded 2 resolutions barring freemen descendants from citizenship during her tenure of 1987 to 1995. When citizenship is rescinded, Black Cherokees are unable to access tribal health care, education benefits, and other privileges. This denial of acceptance is not merely symbolic, it can be a death sentence. This denial, the impetus for the Cherokee Supreme Court's decision, was a challenge put forth by Robin Myers, a candidate for tribal council. He argued that another candidate, Marilyn Vann, was not eligible to run for the position because, as a freedman descendant, she was not legally Cherokee by blood, as required by the Constitution. His challenge was tossed out within a matter of days and followed by the Cherokee Nation Supreme Court's ruling. But what if it had not been? Would Cherokees have continued on knowing that they were sanctioning second-class citizenship where Black Cherokees could not hold office? Is this the sort of tribal sovereignty Native people across the country want to support? Indian country should care about its treatment of Black Cherokees and other freedmen descendants. They are the canaries in the coal mine. That is the complicated morass of kinship, of belonging, and nationhood. They're a constant reminder of the importance of shared history and treaty obligations. Cherokee Nation Principal Chief Chuck Hoskins Jr. has advocated for acknowledgement of freemen and introduced a program to reconfigure tribal museums and other public history venues to include freedmen history as part of the Cherokee narrative. We need more tribal leaders who see publicly reckoning with the past injustices as a strength. Back to you, Sandra.
Thank you, Don. Glad to have you back.
Okay. I think it's time for us to get started with this presentation tonight. The title of this show is Beautiful Ashes, the Dona Richardson Craft Family. All of us at one time or another have had some issues that have confronted us with our health, injuries, and things like that. But to have the innate ability to fight this and come back is a very unique quality. And I'm honored to have them here with us tonight. So let's get to it. Can you bring everybody in? Okay. So We've got Charles, Donna, Maya. We've got, I can't see anything.
Melina. We've got Melina and Elena.
Okay. Elena, how you all doing?
Doing good.
Great. Well, I'm honored to have you. And you all have some beautiful smiling faces. So let's get right down to it. We've already got the Supreme Chief holiday. Marcus, he says, OCO, Chief. Thank you, bro. So let me do this. Let's start with you, Charles. Who are you? Charles?
My name is Charles Kraft. I share my life with my beautiful wife, Donna, and her amazing daughters. I don't know much more to say than that, other than I was truly blessed to come to meet Donna and be accepted into the family as a father figure to the girls and a husband to her. And it's been quite a wild ride, ups and downs, but wouldn't trade it for anything.
You are blessed, bro. You really are blessed.
Truly blessed, very blessed.
Yeah. So Donna, tell us about who Donna is.
Let's see. So I'm a special education teacher and a mother of 4 amazing, beautiful daughters and a stepmother to an amazing son, Trey. And when it comes down to it, I think, who am I? We're a peanut butter and jelly sandwich. We fit together and we go together very well. That's the best way that I can describe who I am and who we are. So I love artwork and I teach and I love working with children with all types of challenging situations in their lives. So that's my forte.
There you go. And who's that pretty little girl sitting beside you? I think
So-
your name is Maya. Are you Maya?
Yes, I am. So I'm Maya.
Are you the youngest?
No, I'm not. I'm the second oldest.
Oh my goodness, you had that very well.
Thank you.
So
So-
tell us about who you are.
Okay, so I'm Maya. I graduated from Radford. Right now, I'm getting my master's degree, and I'm almost done. I'll be graduating in 2022, so I'm excited. And I am also a program specialist for the Chickahominy Indian tribe.
Wow, really?
Yes,
All of that?
yes.
That's just the beginning. That's just the start. There's things
So
we're not talking about.
After the
but-
show, you're going to have to give us the prescription that you're taking to stay so young and youthful looking. All right. Now, Elena, you look like my daughter. How you doing, sweetheart?
I'm doing good.
So, tell me, where do
Okay.
you rank? Where do you rank in all this?
Well, I am the 3rd child,
Mhm.
and I am a student athlete at the University of North Carolina at Pembroke,
Okay.
and I'm a pole vaulter, so
Oh.
that's fun.
Yeah.
Other than that, I am a senior at college, so I'm majoring in health promotion, and I'm minoring in social welfare. And then I'm on to my master's program at Liberty University starting in the spring of 2021.
Congratulations.
Thank
I am
you.
so proud of you. Okay, now we got, who's the other one? Melina, are you still there? Are you with us?
Yes, I am.
Okay, where do you rank in all of this?
I am the oldest. I was blessed to be the oldest child.
So tell us about who you are. What do you do?
I used to be a student athlete, so I used to run track at Radford University. Then I graduated with my Bachelor of Science degree. I've just finished all my classes for my master's in public health.
And I'm just enjoying life as the best I can and welcoming all the blessings and opportunities that are going to come my way. So I've moved on great from the first accident and trying to do my best.
Well, I'm going to just tell you something, sweetheart. The Creator has his arms and hands all around you, and you're protected. You're going to be fine. Okay?
Yes, I will be.
All right.
And let me point out, Jay, that between Donna and her 4 daughters, for the last 4 and the next 2 years, so if this for a 6-year period, the 5 of them will be getting either their first or their second degrees. So their bachelor's or their master's and or their no, that's not right. Their bachelor's and in some cases their master's. So for the next 2 years, these 5 ladies are just beating incredible odds. It's difficult for some people who have no other side things going on to accomplish what they're accomplishing in their education. And they're doing it in spite of all of the crazy things that they're going through. So I really applaud all of you. You're just amazing.
Absolutely.
Thank you.
Thank you.
So, Maya, what is some of your future aspirations? You can tell us. I won't tell anybody.
Future aspirations.
What you want to do?
I want to help. My ultimate goal is to help Native American communities with their health and become healthier and get back to our natural foods that we used to grow back in the day. And that's basically that's what I want to do. That's what I'm driven to. So that's my end.
Maya's an amazing cook.
Yes, and I like to cook. So.
Oh, yeah.
Is that an invitation?
Yeah, where's my invitation?
Wait,
I'm
say
gonna
that
come
again.
I'm just going to come down and eat your food.
That's fine.
Elena,
Yes.
what are your future aspirations? What do you want to do?
Well, I want to become a nutritionist and work at a hospital or within the community of Native American community, either with the Lumbee people in Robertson County or back at home or in Hollister, North Carolina, and just, get people back on the right track with their diets.
Okay.
And talk about, you broke 3 pole vault records, right, Elena?
Yes.
3, not 1, not
Yes.
2, but 3 pole vault records you broke.
Yep,
So tell
at
us
my
about
old
those.
college back at Beaufort in South Carolina, I hold the outdoor pole vaulting record where I jumped 11 feet. I still hold that record today. And I also hold the indoor and outdoor pole vaulting record here at Pembroke. So I've jumped about 10, 8, almost 11 feet here as well.
Wow. You're bad.
Amazing. Amazing.
Takes a lot of dedication.
Oh, yeah. And a lot of
Yes.
practice.
Yes, a lot of practice.
And a lot of eating right.
You're right. A lot of eating right.
Good thing you got a good cook in the family.
I love to cook as well. So.
Oh,
Yeah.
okay. Melina,
So
Yes.
what are your future aspirations?
My future aspirations, I'm trying to get into nursing school at the moment to couple my public health degree. So I would like, similar to my sisters, I would like to give back to our Native communities with exercise and diet and preventative medicine. So preventing diseases, definitely helps with long-term health. And the number 1 causes of death in the United States is due to preventable causes such as like cardiovascular disease and type 2 diabetes. So if we can get ahead of the curve and prevent those types of ailments, then our communities will be healthier and be able to give back to each other longer.
I was just reading an article a couple of days where a Native American has discovered a cure for diabetes. I don't have that article in front of me, but I will certainly send it to you.
Oh, absolutely. I would love to read it.
you got to give it to me too, Jay. I want to get rid of that monster too.
I know. Charles,
Yes, sir.
I think
Yes.
that you are so blessed, man. You get all these amazing cooks right in your family, in the house.
I eat well. I eat well. I eat very well.
You ought to be
Luckily
that.
enough for me, their cooking is very health conscious. So otherwise, I'd have a hard time fitting through the front door to get home to my meals at night.
No, try turning sideways.
I'll remember that. Hopefully it doesn't come to that though.
I hope not.
Well, I have to say, Charles is a wonderful cook himself. He's a vegetarian, so he fishes and he eats the fish that he catches, and so he keeps our freezers full of wonderful types of fish to eat, along with my mother and father's freezer full. So we're very blessed as well because Charles is a phenomenal cook himself.
So
Yeah.
he's an asset.
Oh yeah.
I try to be.
Okay. So Melinda, I'm looking at this picture of you and this young man.
Yes, that's my husband. We got married last August.
You said you got hung last August?
Married last August. Thankfully, COVID didn't get in the way of that either. We had to postpone the first date, but everything was perfect when it did happen. So I'm very blessed.
Oh, absolutely. Absolutely.
Yeah,
So-
and we got some great images of you and Reese and your wedding.
Yeah,
Some
let's
beautiful,
see 'em.
beautiful images. So Leslie will try to get those in a few minutes. But I don't want us to move on from this. I want to make sure we talk about Alicia. So Alicia may join us later. She's not on just yet, but I want to make sure we talk about her as well.
Okay, what is this picture? Look like he's begging for forgiveness.
That's
It's better to ask for forgiveness than it is permission.
So that's Charles and I in Puerto Vallarta.
Oh, Mexico.
Yes.
Mexico.
Is that when he proposed to you and swept you off your feet?
It wasn't the official proposal. No, that was we kind of did everything a little bit backwards.
A little bit, yeah.
So that was a couple of years later, and I wanted a proposal picture, so we did it in Puerto Vallarta. But we were already married. Now that's Melina's
That's
wedding.
my wedding.
Which one is that?
Melina.
Oh,
Yeah,
that-
that's my
Melina.
wedding.
oh,
So Melina's in the wedding gown, and then her
Okay.
sisters and myself.
man, you are some beautiful ladies.
Oh, thank you.
Can y'all
Thank
adopt me?
you.
I'll be your uncle or something, around all that beauty.
And that was last year, is that right?
Yes, last August 8th.
So you're a newlywed.
Yes, we are. We're finally gonna be able to go on our honeymoon this year, so we're super excited.
Oh, that's awesome. And that,
Well-
that's a great family picture there.
Yeah.
I know you're proud, aren't you, Charles?
Here's Reese.
Yeah, there's
Oh,
my
it's-
that's my amazing
I
husband.
can't describe how proud I am.
Uh-huh. So that's Reese, huh?
Yeah, that's my husband Reese.
Where is he?
Say that again.
Where is he?
Oh, he's outside right now. We're trying to get some stuff straight outside. He's doing yard work.
Well, bring him in. I want to say hello to him. That's a good looking guy.
Let me see if I can find him.
He looks like one of my sons. Okay, now while you go find him, let me go let this dog in. She's at the door scratching. I'll be right back. You got this, Sandra. I'll be right
I
back.
got it. All right. So while we're waiting for everybody, let's talk about Donna. Let's talk about Alicia.
Yes. So Alicia is actually out at dinner right now with some friends, but Alicia attends University of North Carolina, Pembroke with her sister. They actually live together in an apartment there off campus, and It's a blessing because both of the girls, the two oldest and the two youngest, they each of them lived together in apartments when they attended college. So it's nice that the girls have each other like that. Alicia is also on the track team. She is my mid-distance runner, and she is studying. She's in her pre-nursing program, and she's doing both. All of us actually academically are doing absolutely wonderful. Um, Everybody's AB students, so it's I'm very yeah. I'm very, very blessed that all of them are, athletic. They're conscientious of how they cook their foods and their health, and they all do exceptionally well academically, especially as taxing as it is being a student athlete with track and field. That is a very, very taxing sport on your physical body with the amount of training that goes into track and field to be amazing champions like the girls are. So they spend hours in the gym. They spend hours on the track training. And even on the weekends when they might not have practice, they're also practicing, they're running and in the weight room. So with all of the physical exercising and training they do to achieve the goal of being an elite athlete, along with being Alicia and them being in the medical field and nursing program. I'm exceptionally proud of all of them and how well that they've done.
As
And
you should.
Alicia is an artist as well, right?
Yes. So Alicia is just an amazing artist. It seems like each day that goes by, just the baby girl can just draw and paint just phenomenally. She's even sold some of her artwork already. So
Oh, wow. I know where she got that from. She got that from her grandmother, right?
that's right. She got it from my mother.
I tried track and field once, and that's as far as I got, was once. And then, of course, I ended up going into service, and that got challenged. We were running sometimes 10 miles a day.
Oh, wow. Yeah.
I took the other way out. When I was 15, I was a boxer.
Okay.
And
Wonderful.
not apples and oranges, okay? We made it to the Golden Glove final in Bear Mountain, New York when I was 15. Came back home with the Golden Glove, and my mother said, "Okay, so what you gonna do now?" So I'm thinking about the Olympics. She said, "No, you're not. I'm thinking you could get in that house and get in those books." I said, "I don't care nothing about that Golden Glove. I will knock you out with that Golden Glove around your neck." So
That's crazy.
But I'm really proud of your daughters.
Thank you.
Man, if I had 5 daughters that were doing that,
Just 4. Don't give me another
one.
So let's we wanted to make sure we covered all the beautiful, amazing things that you and your family have accomplished in the last 4 years, and the things you're going to accomplish in the next 2 years, the incredible odds you're beating, and the wonderful things that you have been able to get through. I think we need to kind of move on at this point to the more serious topic, and that's the medical concerns and some of the horrific events that have happened to you in the last 4 years. The first of which was 4 years ago in 2017, when Maya and Melina were driving home from college, and this was Easter weekend, I believe. And there was a horrible accident, and that was kind of the first of a few very difficult challenges that your family has been through. And I think Leslie has a short video queued up that we can show some of that. And this was again Melina and Maya driving home from college during for an Easter weekend in 2017, 4 years ago.
Okay.
We're Native American, and in our Native American culture, our family has always been woven together very tightly within our tribes, within our family. You nurture and you take care of your elders and your children. Who is Melina? Joy. She's sunshine.
And I'm from Radford. And we're just going down the road. There was a lot of traffic, just singing along. And then our mom called.
Maya
Just singing along. And then our mom called.
Maya
off the interstate up into the tree line, and the trees just felt like matchsticks.
I immediately said, find each other. It's time to wake up and fight for your lives.
I ran around the car to see if she was in the ditch or anything like that, but she was underneath the car.
911, where's the address for the emergency?
I need to report an accident where a vehicle has slipped on its side. The car is on top of the person.
Do you know if there's any injuries, ma'am?
Oh, it looks like they just pulled the person out. A gentleman had picked up the phone. He said, well, I've never seen anything like this before in my life. He said one of them picked the car off
I
of your dog.
started taking a continuous pulse on her to check to see if her condition was going to change, and asked her to just continue talking to me so I could check to see if anything was going to be
My
different.
biggest concern was whether any internal injuries, some sort of spinal injury, because she was not moving when she was on the ground. I tried to reassure her the ambulance was coming.
My child's lying there dying, possibly. There's nothing I can do. I had to say, all right, Lord, please, will you allow her to stay here with me?
Car two's on scene. As I was arriving on scene, I could see the vehicle hit overturned several times. One female, I believe she was the driver, obviously in critical condition. She had significant injuries to her. It looked like burns to the face, chemical type burns or liquid type burns. She was complaining of back and neck pains.
First thing that we wanted to check was make sure that she wasn't having any difficulty breathing or any burns in her airway. She was complaining of pain pretty much all over, of course. You're always concerned about internal injuries, especially with an overturned and possibly ejected. Our protocol, we run a 4-lead, make sure that their heart rhythm is normal because a serious trauma can knock that out of whack as well. And IVs, because at the time we're worried about fluid resuscitation.
They were able to scoop her up and get her an ambulance and get her on the way to the hospital fairly quickly.
We knew that when she was coming in, she was going to be a Delta alert, so the highest level of trauma.
She was aware of the pain that she was in. She had suffered burns on her face. She had burns on all her extremities as well as her torso. We had to get a secure airway. She was swelling around her mouth.
That kind of airway swelling is something we're taught that can progress very fast. It can totally close off and make intubating from above almost impossible. I do remember, looking into her eyes and saying, we're going to have to put you to sleep and put a tube down your throat so that we can protect your airway. And she nodded to me, and then we kind of went on our way to securing it.
When I first got into the emergency room, I said, last name Richardson, 2 sisters, car accident. I am their mother. There was 3 women standing there, and the look on their faces went, we know. We got you. A lot of the things that we have to be most fearful of are the things that we can't see. Are there collapsed lungs? Does she have a liver laceration? Does she have a splenic laceration?
I do remember looking with the ultrasound, and there was maybe some free fluid in her abdomen, but since her vital signs were stable, we kind of go down that algorithm to send her to the CAT scanner to find out what other injuries were inside there.
She was scared, but she knew that she was in the right place and that we were the people there to help her.
Wow. So we know we lost some of the video there, but just kind of to summarize that, Donna, you were actually on the phone with Maya and Melina when that accident occurred. And
Yes.
they were talking to you.
Correct. They were on their, I guess you call it the Bluetooth system or whatever, and they were telling me that they were almost home. Melina had a cold, and she wanted to make sure I had the homemade chicken noodle soup on the stove going, and I had just picked Alicia up from track practice, and so the girls had told me that a tractor trailer almost hit a red car, and I had advised them to try to slow down and get away. And Melina had indicated that that everybody was just pushing each other down the highway, and she was slowing down, but all traffic had kind of slowed down a little bit. And at that point, the tractor trailer then came over on the children and ran their vehicle into the embankment, which popped their vehicle up basically as high as the treetops. And Melina came out the back window, and the car landed on top of her. And Maya was able to crawl out of the back window of the vehicle and lift the car up off of her and basically kind of pick it up and roll it over off of Melina. So, just the strength of creator that he gave to the girls that day is just overwhelming, and it's just truly a miracle. Maya was just, come on, God, I need my sister. We got powwows to go to. We've got too much more to do in life. But from Maya lifting that vehicle, we didn't know for, I guess it was a couple of months, 3 months or so, about 3 months. We didn't know how extensive Maya's injuries were. Maya was in such fight or flight mode to save her sister. Everything, even when the ambulance got Melina and got her to VCU, Maya called me on the phone.
I was making phone calls to Mom. I called Reese. I told them get to the hospital right away. They said we need to put a neck brace on you. I said no, I can't. I have to call my sister's boyfriend, because they're boyfriend girlfriend at the time. And they're like, well, we know. I was like, no, I need to call everybody first, and then you guys can put the neck brace on me.
But when Maya was in the ambulance on the way to VCU, she was just yelling at me, Mommy, get to Melina, get to Melina. You got to get to Melina. Mommy, now go. And I'm like, Maya, I'm going as quick as I can. And, it's just, in my mind, it was, God, there's nothing I can do other than to pray. And so, I prayed, and Alicia was beside me, and we just prayed, and we were yelling out to God, literally just yelling, come on, God, come on, save her. Come on, God, I need you now. Come on, and that's literally what I was yelling down 95 to get to VCU. And, and in my head, I just kept saying, Lord, give her back to me. Will you allow me to have my child for just a little bit longer? Will you give her back to me? And within me asking God that, I also completely surrendered my child to the Lord. I was like, God, she's ultimately yours. She's not mine. You allowed me to raise this beautiful human being that you created inside of me. She's ultimately yours. But would you allow me to have her for just a little bit longer to enjoy her? But she's yours. So I think that sacrifice, that emotional, psychological, Lord, I give her back to you. She's yours. I give her back to you. Just really is what mentally got me through, is knowing that if God chose to take her home, that I would be okay, we would be okay, we would get through it, but I really don't want to have to ever deal with that. So
Yeah,
um,
the strength of sisters. I mean,
right. And so then, with Maya, it was, Maya was such in fight mode to save Melina. All focus with Maya was on Melina. Even when I got back, when they finally let me into the emergency room to see Melina, because they held us in a locked room for a while. Like, we weren't allowed to see them because the severity of Melina. But when they finally allowed me back there, and I went to Maya first, and Maya was like, "No, not me, get to Melina." So Maya was always, "Not me, Melina, not me, Melina." And so we had no idea what was going on until 3 months later. Maya was and several people remember this, Maya was at the Nansman powwow, Upper Mattaponi powwow.
I think those two.
I think mainly those two. And she would just pass out and hit the ground, and the powwow would stop, and everybody was like, "What in the world's going on with Maya?" And it wasn't until later that we had seen a heart specialist in Herndon, Virginia. We went to Dr. Ward at VCU, and all of them were, "She needs to get to Dr. Rakate. He's no longer at VCU. He's in New York at Northwell Hospital." So then we were off to New York to see Dr. Rakate, and Dr. Rakate informed us that he was retiring, and his apprentice, Dr. Verna Jabba, could perform the surgery that Maya needed. So in layman's term, Maya's spinal cord came partially disattached from her skull, which wasn't supporting stability of her head and her anymore. So when that happens, your organs and parts of your body start to shut down. So Maya was, her heartbeat was off, like she would go into tachycardia. Like at rest, her heart rate would be way up in the hundreds to dangerous levels. She developed a syrinx in the spine, which is spinal fluid. It's like a pool of spinal fluid because the blood flow and spinal fluid can't pass smoothly. So they basically had to stabilize, and there's a picture of it. They had to stabilize her skull back onto her spine.
Okay, so let me ask a question. Alea, while all of this was going on, what was going through your head?
Honestly, I was just scared about it all, but I was just staying calm, because if I didn't stay calm, then I knew that it would be harder for everyone else to kind of stay calm, So I was just trying to stay calm, trying to keep Alicia calm, because she was very emotional through all of this, because she's the youngest, she's the baby, she's, close with all of us, but she was really emotional through all of it. But I was just praying as well, praying to God to keep my sisters here with me, praying that everything would be okay. And now that, Maya has already had one surgery, I'm about to go through another one, I'm just still praying that everything's going to be fine. God's going to keep my sisters here with me. They're going to be just fine, and we'll be back to normal life sooner before we know it.
That's a very strong mind that you have. And
yeah, you got to stay strong.
I know, and I'm just so thankful. In all of this, I think you're more of the anchor. What do you think, Donna?
Yeah. So Elena has a very unique strength. Like, I can talk to her even when I'm upset, and she's like, "Well, no, you got to look at it like this, and this is what we're doing, and we're going to go right through it, Mommy." So Elena truly has that young strength that I had when I was young, her age, and she does. You're absolutely right, Jay. A lot of times Elena will anchor me back into place. There's times when I'm like, I can't talk to anybody else. I'm just going to call Elena, and her and I will talk. Or sometimes it's just talking about life in general, and she will kind of pull me back into the mindset I need to be in. But yes, that is very true about Elena.
God has given you so many gifts in your children. And
Thank you.
I am so honored to have an opportunity to know you, all of you.
Thank you.
So, Melena, are you still there?
Yes, I am.
Okay. So, what strength did you find? Just go through this.
I'm sorry, I had a hard time hearing you.
I said, what strength did you find through all of this to go through this?
I found that I needed to embrace patience and understanding that, certain situations are out of my control and you just have to go with the flow of things sometimes and be grateful. And I was holding on to all the blessings that I was, still here. My sister was still with me. I was still able to see, my husband and all my friends and family. So I was just holding on to the things that mattered most to me to get me through. And then again, patience and understanding, and enduring strength that, not all things are going to come easy, but, we're not put in situations that we can't handle. So I just, got through it that way.
So I see that are you a shawl dancer? I was just looking at the picture.
Yes, I am. I've always been a fancy shawl dancer.
Oh, beautiful, beautiful, beautiful regalia.
Thank you so much.
Someone just left a message. I can't see who it is. Can we get that message back up on the screen? Joseph Cooper. She got mother spirit strength too.
Oh, that makes me feel good.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah.
So just for our audience, I want to say we are all having major thunderstorms around us right now, so our signals are kind of spotty. So we apologize for any delay in the videos and such, but we all do have these storms going on right now. And I just want to make a point that that first accident that happened 4 years ago was kind of the instigator of all of the bulk of the medical problems that Melina and Maya have been having since. And Maya, having had that first surgery in New York, which now has to be repeated because that screw fractured that had been placed in Maya's spine in New York. The very same doctor who did that first surgery, Dr. Joseph Virajanapa, he was wonderful, and he provided us a video that was made just today, I believe, in support of the surgery and in support of Maya. So, Les, if you can cue that up, it's the video 102, I believe. So just to talk about Dr. Virajanapa, I think a lot of people call him Dr. V.
Yes.
But he joined UC Health from Northwell Health in New York, where he performed the first surgery, and he is now in at Cincinnati Gardner Neuroscience Institute in Cincinnati, and that is where Maya and her family are going to go for the second surgery, which is going to be in first week of July, I believe. So let's watch. Hopefully, the buffer will work with this storm going on. But we've got this video that Dr. V graciously provided us. So thank you, Dr. Virajanapa, for sending us that. And we'll listen to what that surgery is going to entail.
Hi, everybody. Thank you for joining us today.
All right. I don't know. It looks like we lost sound for a second. We will post Dr. Virajanapa's video. Oh, can you hear the thunder? We're having really bad storms. We'll post that video on the web pages so you can see Dr. V's presentation. He gave a really good explanation of what Maya's surgery is
Hi,
going
everybody.
to
Thank you for
entail.
joining us today. My name is Dr. Virajanapan, and I'm an assistant professor in the Department of Neurosurgery at the University of Cincinnati. I am also a former assistant professor in the Department of Neurosurgery at Northwell Health in the Chiari Institute of New York. I am speaking here today to show my support for Maya and her ongoing medical journey. As many of you probably know, Maya was unfortunately involved in an accident in 2017, triggering a number of symptoms that caused her to be debilitated. These symptoms included head and neck pain worse in certain positions and with certain motions, arm and leg paresthesias, cognitive decline, cardiovascular abnormalities, and gastrointestinal and genitourinary issues. Maya was eventually diagnosed with craniovertebral instability, or instability of the head and neck junction, associated with the serrations of the spinal cord. Maya traveled to see me in New York and eventually underwent treatment for her condition in 2018 via stabilization of her craniocervical junction. Maya did well after surgery. Maya was able to leave the hospital in just 2 days with improvement or resolution of many of her preoperative symptoms. An MRI performed before discharge just 2 days after surgery showed improvement in her preoperative serrings. An MRI performed 6 weeks after her surgery revealed complete resolution of her serrings. Unfortunately, approximately a year and a half after her surgery, some of Maya's symptoms have started to return. Imaging shows that a screw at the base of her skull has fractured, no longer keeping her head-neck junction stabilized. An MRI also shows that a small serrings is starting to recur. Maya will be traveling to see me again in July at the University of Cincinnati to have this problem resolved. This is a complex surgery in the sense that very few neurosurgeons around the world place these kind of screws, and thus very few neurosurgeons around the world would be willing to revise them, necessitating a visit to the University of Cincinnati in order to have this taken care of. I look forward to helping Maya with her condition. I hope to be able to return Maya to being Maya again. I'm sure Maya thanks you all for your support as well. Thank you very much.
I got two things to say about all of this. I'm going to ask you, Donna, Charles, what can we do? What can we do? What can my viewers and listeners and subscribers do to assist you with this? Because I know this is extremely expensive. What can we do? How can we help?
The main thing is just a lot of prayer because this surgery takes many, many hours and it's very tedious. So lots of prayer that Maya will recover exceptionally well from this surgery.
No pain.
Yeah, no pain. The pain, they can't give her like black box narcotics with this type of surgery because they have to be aware of what the brain is doing.
Mm-hmm.
So she feels a lot. She feels everything that's going on. They basically give her extra strength Tylenol, they give her a little bit more than that, but that's about what sums it up. It's very excruciating, painful surgery. And what everybody can do is just lots of prayer for Maya, that God keeps her here with us and that she doesn't have as much pain as the first surgery. And other than that, there's been a lot to go into this trip because this time we have to fly to Cincinnati and fly her home. So we have spent a lot of money in plane tickets to get there, hotel expenses. Then there'll come the cost of food for us. Maya will be staying at a hotel for a week in recovery before she's able to fly back home. So as of our goal was to raise $8,000 for travel expenses to get her to Cincinnati, to help Maya out financially. So that's what I've been really trying to raise that money for Maya. As of today, we've raised $2,500. Maya and I and Alicia will fly out on the 4th of July, and her surgery is on the 9th. So my goal is that we can continue to raise this money, that $8,000 by the 4th of July. And people can donate through Zelle or through Venmo. As of today, before Maya comes home, one of the physical features of the house that we've had to change is her bathroom. It needed to be a handicap accessible bathroom.
Mm-hmm.
The first time she had the surgery, it was very difficult getting Maya out of the bathtub.
I needed a lot of assistance taking a shower. I wasn't able to take a shower by myself for like 3 months.
And then there was, she uses the tub to soak to relax those muscles, because the muscles in her neck and shoulder and down midway of her back stay extremely tense and tight now because of the surgery and the metal rods in there.
Mm-hmm.
So she needed really a soaking tub and a tub with a door so that I could get her out of the tub more successfully. Because one day it was myself, Elena, and Alicia, and we were trying to pick Maya out of the tub. And both of the younger girls are now in school and doing their internship, and I don't have anybody at the house and to help me get her out of the tub. So we needed that tub, and that tub was like $2,700 or something. And then we have to have a wider bathroom door so that it's handicap accessible to be able to get a wheelchair through, and to use 2 people coming out of that bathroom to assist her. And she also needed a higher toilet so that instead of the standard height, a higher handicap accessible toilet.
Mm-hmm.
So as of today, we've actually have spent about $11,000. But our goal for
How much more do you need? Give me a figure.
Well, what we've already projected and put out to public just for us to help us travel wise is $8,000. Now the expenses is going to be, of course, much larger than that as a whole. Maya spent out of her own monies what was it? 65,000 her first surgery. So we're out of pocket. No, that's not insurance coverage. That's Maya's bank account coming out of her money. That paid $65,000 for her first surgery, and that's everything. The travel expenses, the surgery, all of that. So a figure, it could be about 65,000 again, give or take. I don't, we haven't gotten all the bills and everything together yet. But I can say as of to date today, we have spent $11,000 and some.
Okay.
So Donna, talk about showing Old Dominion Innovations, Steve Fitchett, who is...
Yes. So Steve Fitchett, amazing. And everybody has to forgive me because I can't remember the name. But anyway, Steve came and he was recommended to us by a friend. And he came, he looked at the bathroom for Maya. And he was like, yeah, I can do this, this, and this. And I was like, well, we don't have a whole lot of money because I'm not working, because I stay home to help with getting Maya back and forth to the doctors, and also because of some of my health issues that I had going on. Mm-hmm. And I was like, I can't put out a whole bunch of money. And Steve Fitchett was, I got Maya. I got you guys. And he was able to walk me through what exactly I needed to purchase. And so I was able to purchase the product, and him and the plumber came today, whose name is Charlie. And, once again today, Steve Fitchett was like, this is this is the right thing to do for community and for people. And he said, you know, we've got you. So I have to say it's been a blessing, just like with again, there's been key people that have come along beside us and said, hey, we're going to help you. So he's just been Steve has been a blessing so far. Same thing with the airlines, like Maya, because of the surgery, she's going to be so sensitive in her head and neck, down her back, that to get her to the airport and transitioning her from Cincinnati home, she really can't be around a bunch of people because of her sensitivity and because of the visual stimuli and everything. So Bill Chapman, yeah, there he is. Bill, who's a pole vault coach, said, hey, I fly planes for a living. I have my own personal plane. I will be honored to I will fly to Cincinnati, pick Maya up, and fly her back to the Hanover County Airport for you guys to transport her back to the house. And the Hanover County Air Park is like maybe 10 minutes from our house or a little more. So that's just a blessing. Bill Chapman actually took Maya up in the plane and myself last night, and that was beautiful.
That was a pretty cool experience.
Maya actually got to fly a plane last night, which was really, really neat. So,
but you know what? Through all of this, I can see the hands of God.
Yes.
In this. The guys that came and did the renovations, those are angels that God has sent to you.
Yes.
But I want to ask everybody that's watching this broadcast now to go to Zelle and send Maya, her family, money. She needs money. Prayers, of course. Everybody can send prayers. But those of you that have pockets that you can reach in, I want you to send them some money, okay? They need your help now because these are your brothers and sisters. This family is your family. And it's not about the color of your skin or the texture of your hair or anything else. It's about human family. So we need to start talking to each other instead of at each other and have each other's backs. I'm asking all of you that are watching tonight to please open your hearts and open your pockets and help this family get this, I want to call her girl, well, this woman, this young woman, back on her feet again. So please. And also, while you're watching this show, I want you to like my show. I want you to subscribe to it. And I want you to leave a comment. Please. I'm begging you, all of you, please. You know, if you don't have a $5, you got $20,000 or whatever. You need to give this family some money to help them get through this. Everybody in the world has a challenge sometimes, and only we can help each other get through whatever we need to get through. So please give this family some money so that they can get their daughter back as close to being perfect as possible.
Yeah. So Donna, you obviously have a lot of caretakers in your family, friends, family, a lot of great caretakers. So let me ask Charles, can you tell us about Mac McManus? He seems to be a wonderful caretaker for your family.
Yeah, he is. It's truly a blessing that I work for somebody that is so conscientious of family and community and the importance of it. I work in an automotive industry at Mac Service Center, and I've worked for a lot of companies that I wasn't proud to work for, that I thought that I had to protect my customers from, as well as my employees. But Mac McManus and Mac Service Center has gone above and beyond to help support our family. Our oldest daughter, Melina, actually works there as well. and she has a lot of ongoing medical issues herself. And Mac and the ownership there have been extremely helpful and bent over backwards to be accommodating to her needs when she has doctor's appointments, but also just accommodating and supportive of me needing to be there to support the family and giving me the time off that I need. On top of that, Mac does so much for the community at large. It was the main reason why I came to work for him, was his belief in treating his customers like family and creating a bond and taking care of them and looking out for people. And that's truly his number one goal, is to take care of his community and his customers and his family above all else.
Yeah. Thank you so much.
Mm-hmm.
Thank you so much, Mac. So if you guys need some car work, go to Mac's Service Center in Ashland, Virginia.
Yes, definitely.
Not price gouge you, will treat you right, wholesome and honest.
We will take care of you 100%, as if you were family.
And that's so true, because Mac will even text me sometimes during the day and say, "How are you doing? You know, I'm praying for you." The one thing that I adore so much is Charles and Mac will get together some mornings and have prayer together and pray with each other, and as Charles's wife, to know that my husband can go to work and the owner will stop his life to pray with my husband, and they pray together, that speaks volumes. And they pray, you know, for each other's well-being, for each other's family. They pray for the business together. So I'm honored as Charles's wife to be a part of Mac Service Center and that community. But Mac has been a great supporter of our family. And yeah, and then we've got, you know, Becky Branch. Oh my goodness.
Second mama.
Yeah. Second mama. Wow. Yeah, I get emotional. Sorry.
No, that's okay. That's okay. That's okay.
Becky's done so much for my family. She's truly the sister I never had. If I need anything, I know that I can call her and she's there immediately. She knows so much. She's like, she has so much knowledge about everything. It's just incredible, her knowledge. She should be a doctor or something. But she has administered medication to the girls when I was like, "Oh my gosh, Becky, what do I do?" She's like, "Oh, they need this, this, and this." She's a pharmacist. She's a doctor. She's a mama llama. She's just, Becky Branch is amazing. So she's just truly been a great support for all of us. For when Melina was in the hospital, Becky would stay out in the waiting room and sleep and push 2 chairs together and just sleep in those chairs. So she's been with us like all the way through the whole thing. And Becky is, you know, Maya has a very precious relationship with Becky and with Eddie, and those two have just been a huge blessing to our family, with just emotional support and prayer.
Okay. Can we just stop and pray together?
Mm-hmm.
Father, Mother, God, we just want to pause and say thank you for all that you have done for us. This family has learned from a long time ago what it means to lean on you. All of us have had our shortcomings, and some of us have done things that we're not too proud of, but we know one thing, that you are God that hears our prayers. I want to pray for Maya and Melina right this minute. I'm asking you, I'm petitioning you to please open up the windows of heaven and pour out a blessing on both of these young women and on their sisters and on their brother and their father and mother right now. God, I need you to put your arms around them and let them feel your presence even more than they've ever felt your presence right now. And let them know that you got this. I want you to please take care of all of their needs, especially at this time of this crisis. Not only take care of their financial needs, but take care of their human needs. I say this prayer to you. I beg you. Amen.
Amen. Thank you, Jay.
Thank you very much.
But yeah, we have a lot of key friends. Kay Richardson. She's awesome. I can call on her, and she's always there to add to the Facebook page and to pray and just supporting me emotionally. Oh my goodness, her and I have. When I was a teenager, she brought me along, and Barbara Richardson has just been, her and I have supported each other with our Mayas and held each other up, and she truly understands, what I go through as a mother, watching my child suffer every day in pain. A lot of people, Maya's always smiling. We always smile. People don't really look at us and think, they always think, oh, they're strong, they're happy, they're doing fine. And if you ask Maya how she's doing, it's always, I'm fine, I'm good. Yeah, it's always, I'm good. But in all actuality, it's not. Maya's in excruciating pain every day, and she hides it very well. And she smiles through her pain. And it's very difficult watching your child suffer like that. So Barbara does a lot of supporting me as a mother through watching your child go through those challenges medically. It's hard when your child wants to get up and walk and they can't. It's hard when your child wants to just go to the beach and they can't. It's hard when your child has certain physical things that they can't do. Like we had to install a rack in the bottom shelf of the kitchen cabinet because Maya can't bend over to do that. So she has to have a rack to be able to pull out the pots and pans to get to them. And it's just very hard for a mom having to watch your child suffer like that. And nights that the pain is really bad, Charles will lay on the floor outside her bedroom door, and Maya a lot of times will be vomiting profusely, and she'll be in such pain that sometimes she's like, God, I can't do this anymore. And to hear your child pray prayers like that, it's heart-wrenching. It's just very, very difficult. So the emotional pain that we've all have been through as a family for just, since March 30th of 2017 has been very hard, because we just want this to stop. And I guess a lot of viewers are probably wondering why she's having to have the surgery again. Like Dr. Bernajapa said, the titanium screw that the manufacturing company made had a flaw in it. And of course, nobody knew until it broke in half inside of Maya.
Okay.
So, and of course, the manufacturing company has so much red tape around it. There's there's nothing that we can do to get money out of it. She's just stuck with the situation, and we have to take care of it.
It's gonna be all right. It's gonna be.
Yeah. So it's just, we have quite a few core people that surround us emotionally. But the biggest thing and the biggest need would be Maya needs financial support to pay for all of these expenses. It's just been phenomenal, the amount of money that she's had to come up with. And, so yeah, we're tired. We're exhausted.
And all of this is because you still don't know who actually hit them in that tractor trailer driver. So you have never been able to recoup anything from that accident that was not their fault. Don't know who the driver was. You don't even know if the driver knows he hit them, in fact.
Yeah, correct. The one person that got the license plate of the tractor trailer, the police officer asked him not to move and to wait. Everybody was just immediately hands-on, the girls, because Melina was literally fighting for her life. So that gentleman who got the plate numbers of the tractor trailer, he left. So before the cop could get it. So yes, all expenses were left on us. And I have an amazing husband who immediately was, you're going to come home from work and focus on our daughters. And at first I was like, no, but I gotta keep working. And he was like, no, you're coming out of Hanover County Schools. You've got to come home and take care of our daughters. And Charles took it on his, he carried all of us, all 5 of us on his back, and he still is.
I'm so
Charles
proud.
is,
Well,
He's an angel. You're an angel, Charles.
Yeah, he is an angel. But you know what? He stood up, stepped up, and did his job as a father, And for that, Charles, I am so proud of you, bro. I hope in the very near future I can get a chance to meet you in person.
I look forward to it.
And all the beautiful girls, yeah.
But it's just what fathers do.
Mm-hmm.
You're a father. You understand. When your family needs you, that's what you do. You have no other choice. Mm-hmm. There's no thought in your mind other than to take care of your family.
That's
right. They hold me up. And they're an inspiration to me.
There you go. Well, I need to tell you, I'm a father, grandfather, and a great-grandfather.
Yeah.
So I got all of them. It seems like every week somebody got a birthday.
I'm truly blessed.
So is there anything else that you all want to mention before we sign off? And when we close the show out, would you all stay on for about 15 minutes?
Yes, we'll stay on longer. I wanted to mention my brother, the girl's uncle. They call him Uncle Nose, but it's Aaron Winston. He has been Maya's chiropractor, of course, her whole life. But since the accident, he's really, because Dr. Baranajapa was in New York and now Cincinnati. Mm-hmm. Dr. Ward at VCU kind of oversees Maya as far as the neurosurgery part. He'll check in with her CT scans and stuff. But it's Aaron that works with Dr. Baranajapa who, keeps her adjusted and with Aaron, with the way that he adjusts Maya, it's able to relax those tight muscles because her muscles literally stay in a tight knot all the time. Mm-hmm. So Aaron's able to go in there and relax those muscles for her through a lot of different procedures that he does. But I am so thankful to the Lord that my brother, Aaron Winston, is a licensed chiropractor.
Yes, I am happy. He is a licensed chiropractor. He keeps my muscles relaxed with a lot of pressure point therapy as well. So I'm just happy I have him. I can call him, can I come over real fast? And he's like, yes, you can.
Yeah, so Aaron will even come to our house, or we'll go to his house if, and it's really, really bad. So So if anybody out there ever needs an amazing chiropractor, not saying this because he's my brother, but Aaron is truly good, visit Winston Chiropractic Care. He's amazing. He's really good at what he does.
Jay,
Well,
he's not too far from you.
I'm gonna tell you something. Chiropractors have always been at the top of the list for me, and I'll tell you about that when we get into the chat room after the show. Okay.
Okay.
I really got something to tell you, baby. I really do. So anyway, I want to thank you all for being a part of this today. I couldn't have done it without you, and I am so honored to meet you. And I want everybody out there that's watching this broadcast, you need to give this girl some money so that she can get through this. But constantly be in prayer for this family. So, is there anything you want to say, Sandra, before we close out?
Yeah, Donna, does Steve at Old Dominion Innovations, does he still need an electrician? I think I heard you mention you have a plumber.
Yeah, we have the plumber. I don't think so. I think Steve has lined up an electrician as well.
Okay. So I was just going to note that, people can hopefully contribute financially, but there are other things that we can do. We can provide our services. So, just reach out to Donna and her family if there's something that you think you can do. They have a lot of things that would be helpful to them.
Maya, I'm going to tell you something, sweetie. You're going to love that tub. I got one.
I can't wait.
God, it's going to really help you. So thank you all for being a part of this. And don't forget, my grandfather always said, your brother, your sister don't have to look like you to be your brother or your sister. And just erase all those other negative thoughts. It ain't about the color of your skin, the texture of your hair. It's not about the clothes you wear. It's not about who you worship and call God. You know what it's really all about? It's how you treat my heart. So I'll leave you in a few words. Dana da, go ahi,